I'm here now. He's gone. Hi, Diane.
Hi, am I the only one?
Right now you are. Yep.
Okay.
That's all right. Welcome.
Thank you.
How's it going?
Oh, good. I have, my husband's working on the bathroom, so hopefully it won't be loud. He's renovating it.
That's all right. It's good you're getting stuff done.
Yep, yep.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, good. So I'm glad you jumped on. So why don't, and for the moment, this will be a one-on-one. Why don't you tell me a little bit while we're doing this, what you have or have not done in Zoom and have or have not done in Google Meet, and then I can kind of go from there.
I guess with Zoom, I've just received, emails and yeah, clicked. I've just joined other people's meetings, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And have you done anything at all with Google Meet?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, why don't we do this? We'll go over the features of both. Do you have video available on your computer, or does it not work on yours?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. All right. So we can go over, we'll go over Zoom a little bit first. I can talk about some of the account features and some of the general comparisons.
Okay.
And then I'll switch over and I will show you, I can't show you the actual features in Google Meet while we're on Zoom because the two video services they won't work together. It'll actually kick us out of Zoom.
Okay.
But I will take you to a website that gives you the general walkthrough, and then I'll give you my opinion of one versus the other, and then you can determine what you might think might work best for your business and your particular needs.
Okay.
Oh, there's Ann Byer. Hey, how are you?
Hello.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Welcome.
Thanks.
So we were just getting started. We were talking, Diane's on, we were talking a little bit about Zoom and the difference between Zoom and Google Meet, what they both offer, the differences between the two, and what may or may not work for a particular business's needs. So we'll go through, we'll start in Zoom, go through Zoom a little bit, and then I'll talk about how it compares to Google Meet as we go through. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over and show you some of the features of Google Meet. I have a web page pulled up. I can't actually go into Google Meet itself because it'll throw us all out of Zoom. You can't run two separate systems at the same time. So I'm going to do a screen share here quickly. Well, first I'll talk a little bit about the two. So with Zoom, I think we've all been on all these Zoom meetings through the office. So with Zoom, they have several different platforms, pricing platforms. So you have the 40-minute free platform. Anybody can sign up. You create an account and you can host, I believe on the free platform, you can host up to 100 people for up to 40 minutes. At 40 minutes, it cuts off and then you can either just restart right away or you're done. Pretty simple. You have screen sharing. Depending on the system that you're running, whether it's a Windows or Mac or PC, Windows, PC, or in my case, I actually use a Chromebook. Hey, Michelle.
Hi, I'm driving.
Okay. Depending on the system you're using, some features are available and some features are not. On Windows and PC, generally everything's available unless you're running an older system, and then there are a few features that aren't available. You're a little bit more limited on Chromebooks on some of the more advanced features. And then on tablets, on the newer tablets, most of the features, advanced features work, and then on iPhones or Androids, there are fewer advanced features that work, and you're running just the more basic features. Although you can still have your basic platform, your pro platform, and I can't remember what the highest platform is called, but I'll show you those in a minute. So you have your audio, your video. You can invite people right from the main screen. You can manage participants. There's the share button, which I'm going to open up. There's a chat feature. You can actually And I literally just got about 5 minutes before this class started another update. So Zoom has been doing a lot of updates recently with their security because they had some issues when all of this started. So some of these features that I'm going to talk about, some of them may have changed since yesterday. They literally just sent out this update today. So what I'm telling you may not all be 100% accurate as it relates to some of the advanced features, and some of my things that I had turned on yesterday might be turned off today. I've noticed that in the last 5 or 6 days, things have been turned off. They had passwords that were suddenly turned on. They seem to have turned those back off again. This meeting is recording. You have the ability to record a meeting, and you can choose to either record it to the cloud or record it locally to your hard drive on your computer. Google Meet does the same thing, except for it only records right into Google Drive. So you do have that ability as well. So with that, I'm going to do a quick screen share here with you guys. And in Zoom, you have a little bit more features in Zoom than you would have with Google Meet with your screen sharing. So in Zoom, you can share the entire desktop, so anything that's on your desktop, or you can choose an application within Zoom where you're working from a Windows or a PC. With the Windows and PC, you can also choose a whiteboard. So I could write on the screen, you could also write on the screen, and then we have the ability to save that, and you could also share it. So for teams or teaching more collaborative purposes, that becomes a really useful feature. Maybe not so much if you're just doing one-on-ones with clients, although there might be a purpose for that. The desktop feature is great, and the application feature can be very useful. I do not have the whiteboard feature in a Chromebook. That is not a feature that's available. So I'm going to switch to desktop screen share. I'm going to share here. So now everybody should be able to see my screen if you're not on just on the call in. Both systems, they do also offer the ability to have a dial-in only. So for meeting with clients, if you just want to have a meeting and it's partners, husband and wife, whatever, and you're sharing documents, you do have the ability to, excuse me, and one's driving, you can still do a screen share and somebody can still call in and you know, be a valuable part of the conversation. So I'm on the sign-in screen of my account. This is actually another page. This is not the Zoom call that we're on, but this is the actual sign-in page. So from this page, this is a paid account. I have the basic, the entry-level paid account. It's $14 a month. From here, you can schedule a meeting, you can join a meeting or host a meeting. And over on the left-hand side, there's a lot of different settings. You can set up your profile. You can link your account. So I have my Google G Suite account set up. And by doing that, it will automatically go and link to my calendar and my mail. This account allows for 100 participants. You can upgrade from there. I have it set up so it is actually auto syncing with my calendar, and it's also syncing with my contacts. So I can pull in contacts right from the meeting. The good thing about Google Meets, because it is a Google platform, if you're using Google Contacts and Google and Gmail, it's automatically doing all of that for you. So from a meeting standpoint, I'm going to switch screens. As you can see here, you can schedule meetings and you can schedule recurring meetings, and this can go pretty deep. So you can see the ALC leadership meetings that we have scheduled out in advance. They're all in here. So I can see them, and then I can start the meeting, delete meetings that I don't want. And it goes on from there. You can also, with the paid accounts, you can have webinars. So if you're doing a lot of team related stuff, there are some advanced features on this main screen. You can tie this into Facebook, YouTube, and other social media sites so that you can actually host webinars, and you can run them straight from Zoom where you're inviting people in, but you can also send them out live onto those social media sites and have a live YouTube hosted site, or a Facebook Live site. Sorry, that's the word I was looking for. Facebook Live, and be giving a first-time homebuyer seminar or whatever it is you might be doing for your clients or consumers. So that would be in the webinar section here. I don't have that set up. I don't pay for it. Recordings. This is where the recordings get scheduled, and whether you're uploading them to the cloud or you're downloading them to your hard drive. And then in the settings section, this is where you sort of do a deep dive into, and this is where a lot of things have been changing in the last, since Saturday. They've been changing a lot of their different settings. So hosting a video where the information is turned on or off, if you allow your clients to come in before you as a host are on, lots of different things here that you can set up, whether the mute is on, video is on for your clients, whether you require passwords. So you can really personalize the account to you. Whether you share, anybody in the group can share a screen, whether you're sending out upcoming meeting reminders in advance. You can have chats turned on and off. You can have private chats between individuals within the meeting. So if you were having a huge meeting, could they chat within the whole group? Could they chat privately amongst themselves? Are you saving those chats at the end of the meeting? Do you want to know when participants are joining or leaving? You can get notifications for that. File transfer, again, this might be something great for big teams if you're having regular team meetings where you can transfer files back and forth. Co-hosting, so this is actually being hosted by our main office site, and they put me in as a co-host. So even though we're looking at my account now, I could pass off to a co-host and I could leave the meeting and they could take over control. So lots of different settings in Zoom. Zoom has a lot more features than Google Meet, but you're paying for those features. Oh, sorry about that. So there's lots in Zoom to a lot of bang for your buck, sorry. And then user management, room management, and account management and advanced settings, those go even deeper into how your users are managed. Obviously rooms, if you're doing breakout rooms and different sort of things, when you get into really large groups, which probably none of us would ever get into. But if you were on Dave Batty's call maybe last week, where we did sorry, I'm going to stop sharing for a second. If you were on Dave Batty's call where we did the breakout rooms, the shift call, that's where you get into those sort of settings. So at this point, does anybody have any questions about Zoom and how any of the features
I don't.
work in there? Okay. Now I'm going to jump back into the share screen. Oh, you're on mute, Anne.
Okay. One thing I've noticed, and I'm curious if you found this before, if you started a Zoom, you didn't schedule it, but you just started one, you could invite people. There was an invite button, and that seems to have gone away, and you have to go to participants. It's at a different place. Have you noticed that?
Well, the invite button on my screen is back on the bottom of the page. And
Is it?
let me look at the email. Literally an email came through 5 minutes before this started. And I'm just going to pull it up and see. I do remember reading something in one of these updates. The day that we were originally supposed to have this on, was it Saturday? Was the day that they added passwords out of the blue and nobody knew it. And that's why I couldn't get into the classroom, because I didn't have a password.
My daughter had a big presentation, and she's trying to get into Zoom to do this thing and freaking out. Like, the timing was horrible.
Yeah. So actually in this email, it just came out. What time was it? 2:22. It says the invite button is now back, and it's back on the bottom of my screen.
Interesting. Now, I can't raise my hand. Is there some place where you raise your hand? I don't know. I have a MacBook Pro, but
So that is in one of the advanced features that
Oh,
has
so
to be turned on or off. I believe in my account I have it turned on, but if
maybe
the
I just have to do that in my settings.
well, I don't think you have control of that. That's a setting that's in the KW setting. So whether this is
Oh,
Jeff,
I see what you're saying.
yeah, whether Jeff Rega manages it or one of the MCs, I'm not even sure whose account we're on. This might be the Exton account or it might be the Westchester account. I'm not even sure whose account we're using because they have started setting us up on the tri-office calendar.
I see.
But that would be, I'll go back to screen share and see if we can find it. Because I have seen it and I think that I have it turned on. I believe it's not under advanced, so maybe under user management. It wouldn't be under users, I don't think. I have seen that setting, and
Well,
I've
it
never-
doesn't matter. It's not like I want to raise my hand, but people are like, I don't know. I just was curious. So
yeah, it's
Don't worry
somewhere down in either user management or it's in one of these admin settings.
got it. Okay, no
It
worries.
might even be in room management. But that's where you sort of take a deep dive. And to be honest with you, those settings have changed. Like I changed my settings on Saturday when all of this happened. And then on Sunday, half of them had turned off or had switched or things had changed again. And then the same thing happened again on Monday. So I think we're going to see that probably over the next week or two or maybe even three.
Right.
As they keep updating their settings, things that we have set in our own rooms are going to continue to change. But yes, there is a setting in there that you can set up, but you have to set it in your account as the owner of your account. It's not something you
Okay. Well, let me ask you one more question.
Yep.
I have helped more old women than I care to mention try to get onto Zoom, and they have troubles. And I think for sure they have troubles where, when I'm in and I invite somebody, it goes right to email and boom, you put them in and that's it. Is there a setting that they need to do to be able to go into their email?
Well, part of it depends on the system that they're running, because for some people, it will, just depending on the system that they're on, it will automatically load. Then other people have to download the Zoom integration.
Yeah. Okay.
So it really depends.
I think at this point, most people have got it figured out, but.
Yeah, but on their initial startup, because Zoom is probably the most advanced software for this sort of application, most of the systems do need to have it downloaded.
Here's another question you would know. Sometimes when two people try to talk at the same time, it's horrible, and other times it's fine. Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean, and I don't know why that is.
Okay. Have you experienced that most of the time it's kind of a one person speaking format?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And I don't know if that's related to the individual computers. That is a little bit above my pay grade, whether it's the individual computers issue or if it's a system issue. That I don't know.
Okay.
To do a quick, just because we're talking about it, a quick comparison of Zoom versus Google Meet. My experience has generally been Zoom tends to have better overall quality than Google Meet. However, for agents that are going to do very limited video meetings or are working within a budget and don't want to spend the money, I would say I would tend to lean towards Google Meet because the video quality is still very good. And 80 to 90% of the time, it's the same as Zoom. And we are already paying for it because it comes as part of our paid subscription with KW. So, and you can do all the same, I shouldn't say all the same things. You can do many of the same things in Google Meet that you can do in Zoom. And in some respects, its integration and its ability to join is far easier. So to go back to your point of the little old ladies or
Yeah.
little old men that are struggling with it, I find for them it's easier to join than Zoom is. So from that standpoint, Google Meet is probably better. So quite frankly, when we get done with the pandemic, I am spending more time doing one-on-one trainings with agents in Google Meet to see if I'm going to be happy with it. Because if that's the case, I will probably abandon my Zoom account and just use Google Meet because we already have it.
Okay.
So with that, I'm going to go back to screen share. And so I'm back in my Zoom account right now. So to show you Google Meet for us, I'm going to open a new tab first. And for anybody that has a KW account or any sort of G Suite account, you would find Google Meet right here in the Google Apps section. You'd click on the little apps icon, open it up, and this is the button you're looking for. Now, I'm not going to click it because the moment I do this, it's going to lock up our Zoom call. But you would click this button, and then I'm going to take you to the web page here. And I tried to create one of these, but I found this page and it was far better than anything I could create. So this was these guys created this Getting Started with Google Hangouts Meet. And just to be clear, Google Hangouts was Google's original version of this video conferencing for personal use. Google Meets is just the G Suite version. So it's the same thing. It's just for a business level. So to start a Google Meets call, how do you create a Google Meets? So once you click on that icon that I just showed you, this page will pop up and it'll say join or start a meeting. You'll get this page with this little screen here, join or start a meeting. So you're going to type in your name, or you could leave it blank, but you type in your name. There's two different ways you can do it. If you wanted to start a meeting immediately, this is the way you do it to start it immediately. So you could join or start a meeting there. You click continue. And then you're going to click join now. So the camera page is going to open up and you've created the meeting. Okay. And now you've got to invite people in. So there's a couple different ways you're going to invite people in. So you can either add people from up here, the button in the top right-hand corner, the little plus people button, or, and we'll go over this first, and you can start typing. So if you have people, if you're keeping people in your Google contacts, they'll be in here. You can type the name in and they'll just start auto-populating, and you're going to click and add them. And it's going to, or you can type in the email address if you don't have them in Google contacts, and it'll just send them out an email invite right away. Okay. And that's how you're going to send the invitation. There's also another window that's down here, which they're not showing on this screen, but there's another window down here, which will open up the same box as well. And you would either type in the name or type in an email address if they're not in Google Contacts or you don't have Google Contacts. And then you send your invitation is the last part. Okay. That's the first way you do it. The second way you do it is if you want to plan a meeting in advance. So to plan a meeting in advance, i.e. you're scheduling a meeting with clients, you would go into your calendar, and I'm opening up my calendar. So this is a Google calendar. Again, this is integrated with Google Meets. So a Google calendar, and same thing. You find your Google contacts through this little icon. So So there's your contacts button. That's how you'd find contacts. You also find your calendar through the button, but we're on the calendar page. So I'm going to create a meeting. I'm going to hit the create button. You type in your title, test meeting. You put in whatever your date and time is. Here, you'd add your guest. So I believe, Anne, you're going to come up because you're part of, see if you come up. It should populate. Maybe it won't populate. If you were part, maybe you're not going to populate. I thought because you're part of the KW sphere, you would come up. If you were part of my contacts, you would pop up there and you would auto-populate. If not, I would type in your email address and add you there. And then here I would click Add Conferencing. And it says Join Hangouts Meet. Okay. And I can have up to 250 participants.
Okay.
More information, it gives me the phone number, more phone numbers. I could add a live stream if I wanted to. I could put in some details. I could say, you know, I could say it was our listing, you know, whatever you're doing. But if I typed in your email address there, I would then hit save and it would say, you're not in my network because I don't have you in my network. But if I typed in your email, and then it would say, do I want to send it to you? You'd immediately get an invite and you'd be invited. So then,
So it's interesting. It says make it a Zoom meeting down there.
well, that's because I have the Zoom, just so you know, I have Zoom as a extension in my Google Calendars. So I can include the Zoom meeting. Actually, give me your email address.
It's AnnByer1, ANNBYER, the number 1. At Gmail.
At Gmail, okay. Gmail, okay. Okay. Oop. All right, so see how it added you in here? Would you
Okay.
like, so I'm going to click send. And then save. Close that. As soon as that finishes spinning.
While it's spinning, can I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
I tried to go into, like, tried to run one of these recently, and I went in, it was Google Hangouts. And when I go into my Google things, I only see Hangouts.
Well, are you going in? So let me ask you this. Are you signing in from your AnnBuyer1@gmail.com account, or are you going in from your KW account?
Oh, I go in from, yeah, I live in AnnBuyer1. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I'd have to go out and come back, go to a different account.
Yeah. So AnnBuyer1 is a personal email account. So
Yeah.
Google Hangouts is all that is offered in there, which I think is fine, except for you can't do presentations, I don't believe, in personal.
Gotcha.
Google Meet, our KW accounts are G Suite accounts, so that will allow for presentations.
Gotcha. Okay, that's helpful. Thanks.
Does that make sense? So now I've invited you, and here's that email right here, or that calendar invite. So I'm going to open it. Hopefully, yep. And so now this is how you would join. You click Join Hangouts Meet. Again, I'm not going to click on it, because if I click on it, and you should have an invite from me in your email now. If I click on this, it'll open Google Meet. So I'm going to go back to the other screen we were on and just continue on. So the next setting talks about how you set up your camera and your audio in your settings. So you click on the settings button and get your audio and video set up specific to your computer. Make sure you've got the default microphone and the default speakers. That's pretty straightforward. Make sure you have it where you want it, and it all depends on what type of computer or tablet you're running. Then the important part is the share screen. So how do you share your screen in Hangouts Meet? This is pretty simple and pretty similar to Zoom. So you go down to the right-hand corner and it's the Present Now button. And you can do generally the same thing as Zoom, not as many features, but generally the same thing, where you can either present your entire screen or a window. And then it'll give you your choice of multiple screens or the window. It just depends on what you have open. Once you choose what it is you want to present, you click share, and that will present to the person on the other end what you have up. It's a great way for doing contracts. I actually think for us, because we're so involved, whether you're doing Zoom or Google Meet, either one, we've gotten so into sending out our digital contracts, and people take them and they sign them immediately and they don't read them. That even once we get past the pandemic, this might be the way for us to start doing things, is actually having a video face-to-face with them and going through our contracts with our clients. And then one of the other features that they offer is how to send a text message in Hangouts Meet. And up in the top right-hand corner, there's a text button. This, I think, would be if you were having a larger group meeting. It's similar to the chat feature in Zoom, and you're able to send messages back and forth within the Google Meets sidebar. And then the rest of this presentation is more advanced features about adding people during the call or removing people during the call, and the features that are features that are offered by Google Meet. It offers quite a few features, not nearly as many as Zoom, but for the price that we pay, which is basically free, I think it's pretty good. Mm-hmm. So I would suggest going into Google Meet, maybe using it with family, like right now while we're on lockdown, doing a family night, doing both of them that way, setting up a Zoom account. You can set up a free Zoom account and just participate at their free level. Know that you're only going to get 40 minutes. And try Zoom, see if you find it user-friendly, see if your friends, family, clients find it user-friendly, and see how you feel about it. See if you can accomplish what you need to accomplish from a business standpoint in 40 minutes. And then also try Google Meets and see what works for you. But I would tend to think most agents would want to go towards the Google Meets because A, you're already paying for it, and B, you can use it beyond the 40-minute mark.
Okay, awesome.
Do you have any questions about Google Meet?
I don't, no.
No, it looks good. I'm just glad, because I realized I did Google Hangout and the quality was horrible.
Yeah, so Hangouts is just the personal version. Google Meets is the upgraded enterprise version.
Yeah, so I'll have to get on
For
there.
business.
Cool.
And you do have your KW business account set up, right?
No, that's a really good question. So that'll be something I'll tackle next. So is there anything else on that would be got to know about on the Google front?
No, if you have your KW email set up, you would sign into that account, and then it would just be in that. I'll go back to it.
Yeah.
Quickly.
Just in your.
Yeah. So if you're signed into your Google platform under your KW Gmail,
Mm-hmm.
so this is mine right here, G Suite. That's my account. Then these little 9 buttons right here are going to be anything associated with that. So this is my main account page. That's my business page. That's my Gmail. That's the drive that's associated with that Gmail, the docs that are associated with that Gmail, all the way across the board. All of these, the calendar, everything is associated to that specific Gmail. You will see the same thing for your personal account, but all of those are associated with their personal account. So they have different features. Drive has a different capacity size. They all do different things because they're based on the personal side of Google and not the business side of Google.
Right. Okay.
So you sign in and you see those buttons in the Gmail section. That's how you're going to get to the business side of it. And it'll say Meet. In the personal side, it should say Hangouts.
Awesome. Fantastic. Thank you. I'm going to rock and roll. Okay.
All right, great. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
See ya.
Michelle, Diane, do either of you have any questions?
I don't have any questions. I appreciate it, Gus. Thank you.
All right, thanks. If anybody has anything, you can always reach out. Happy to help you.
So, guys,
Yes.
I missed the whole 40 minutes because of being in the car, and I couldn't hear what you were saying. So, can you just quickly tell me what's the difference from Zoom to Google Hangouts?
Okay, so the basic difference, the real basic difference is Zoom. Well, Zoom has a free platform, and then they have a couple of levels of paid platform. Their entry-level paid is $15 a month, basically. Free, you only get 40 minutes, and then you are automatically logged off, and you would have to log back in. So if you're meeting with clients, 40 minutes may not be enough.
Okay.
Or you can pay,
Correct.
and then you know you're going to go beyond 40 minutes. Google Meet,
Okay.
as part of your KW suite of products in Google, Google Meet is one of those features that you get.
And where would I find this suite of products that I didn't even know I had?
So when you go to your KW Gmail, do you use your KW Gmail?
No, I use Gmail, but not my KW Gmail.
Okay, so we'll post this video. Jeff will post this video, I think, in the KW Strong page, and I think he also posts them to all the local Facebook pages, but it'll definitely be in the KW Strong page. If you go back in and watch this page, you'll be able to see where it's where you can find it. But when you log into you'd have to log into your KW email account, and very similar to your personal email, you have a personal Gmail account?
Correct.
Okay, so on your personal Gmail account, at the top right-hand corner where your name is, if you look just to the left of your name in that top right-hand corner, there's 9 little dots. If you click on those 9 dots, do you see those?
Well, I'm not seeing them, but I know where they are because that's how I get to my
So
calendar.
those 9 dots in your personal account, if you open those are all your apps, your Google apps that you get as part of your personal account. When you log into your KW Google account, those dots will still be there. You would click on those dots as well. They'll open up, and you will see a whole bunch of apps will appear that are available to you to use. One of them will be Google Meet. You may not see it immediately in front of you. You may have to scroll down through the apps a little bit. There's quite a few of them.
Okay. Would I have that on my regular account or no?
On your personal account?
Yeah.
No, you don't. You have what's called Google Hangout. And Google Hangout is not as robust as Google Meet. It's more sort of a one-on-one video conferencing as opposed to a business video conferencing. So it doesn't have all the features.
Okay, well, that's good to know. All
But
right.
if you go back and watch, because you're now on and you have video, if you go back and watch this video when Jeff posts it, I actually did screen share and it showed that. So you'll see it.
Okay, terrific. I always learn something from you, so all good.
Oh, good.
Okay, well, thank you, and you have an awesome day.
Thanks.
Okay? All right,
Bye.
bye-bye.